So anyway, here's the interesting part, right? So, all right. So the point being is that so that I get into an argument with what seemingly, from what I understand, is named Jason Levy, right? Uh, and the bottom line is that Mike Longboat looked like Jason Levy. Now, around about that time, I'm pretty sure, I didn't look up this information, but I'm pretty sure Dennis Levy was running for assemblyman of a certain district that is in between New York and Staten Island. I mean, Staten Island is New York, but in other words, a certain assembly district that covers parts of that. All right, both parts of Staten Island and Long Island, and pretty much the freaking gateway to Manhattan. Okay, and the interesting part is that so Jason Levy starts a fight with me. Dennis Levy showed up to that. Now, showed up after that. Okay, now the interesting part is that Mike Longboat was staying with his cousin named Dennis at the time. Okay. So this is where I'm a little bit and they both, Jason Levy and Mike Longboat, both look like Paul Flores. Little do I realize, little do I care, do not care, did not care, fucking usually can handle my fucking self. And the bottom line is that that's where it gets interesting, because the bottom line is that Paul Flores, I see a picture of a truck as of Friday on one of the videos. The truck that was in the photo of Paul Flores, and somebody saying, hey, this is Paul Flores' truck. I'm sitting there like, holy shit, that's fucking Mike's truck. Now, what I'm saying about that, first, right off the non-paranoid part of my fucking brain throughout all the shit that I've been through, I said to myself, that truck is almost the same exact fucking truck. If not, it is the same exact truck. That meaning make and model wise. Because the paranoia didn't get that far yet, right? So I'm like, that's the same fucking truck that Mike Longboat fucking ended up getting after moving into my house. Which then after that, I'm pretty sure Mike spray painted like the entire fucking truck. So I don't remember exactly which fucking color the fucking truck was. But the interesting part is that I fucking I can't fucking ask Mike because Mike's dead. Yo. Wow. What an interest. And then I almost die on the way to Mike fucking Longboat's funeral. Wow. What a fucking interesting set of circumstances. Nothing like fucking pre-planning. Wow, man. This is fucking crazy. This is fucking crazy. You know something? So, amongst that, and I'm saying to my fucking self, well, the reason I'm saying all this is because first off, I've met Dennis Levy a few different times. He was pissed that day, and that me and the other fucking jerk off got into a fight, which is more than likely his family member if his name's Jason Levy, and then, Dennis Levy. I'm just thinking, But he was pissed off, and it's like, something? It's like, I don't even know what the fuck to say. This guy swung on me, okay? He swung on me first, okay? I can't help that I fucking, literally kicked the living shit out of him. Now, Dennis Levy supposedly has HIV, okay? I guess, from what I've read so far, it seems like the man has HIV, okay? So now I'm saying to myself, and this is nothing against Dennis Levy, okay? The fucking interesting part is that that's exactly what I was worried about fucking catching from that other motherfucker that looked like Mike Longboat, Jason Levy, okay? That motherfucker swung and hit me first. Now, if it wasn't for that fucking, I'm really wondering if that's exactly what the fuck. Wow, man. Wow, man. Wow, man. Wow, man. Fucking wow, man. Every time I sit back and I start to fucking rewind this shit in my fucking head and be like, where do the fucking pieces actually fit and why are they fitting there? But the interesting part is right around fucking the time that the assemblyman does take over that district, which is like the 64th or 54th or 43rd. I don't fucking know. It's the fucking district at the fucking basic bottom end, the basic gateway to fucking Manhattan. Okay? End of the fucking story. I think. From what I remember seeing at the map, just yesterday. I fucking don't care. But I do care because now I'm saying to my fucking self, was that a fucking attempt to fucking give me HIV if that cocksucker? Because I have this special type of fucking injection in my blood. Now that's also very interesting that I go for a fucking blood test, but we'll get to that part of the story. But it's already been fucking said. I go for a fucking blood test and the fucking doucheball at the fucking hospital wouldn't take my blood and tried to fucking, because I said, well, I have nobody to put down as emergency contact. They found that, I guess, is a fucking green light to go, son. Well, guess what? In the meantime, I'm hanging out, fucking talking with fucking Sean Allen, which they're dropping Sean Allen's daughter off on my doorstep, fucking drugged completely out of her mind all the fucking time. I freaking love Lisa, but I could not figure Lisa out. Like I've went over 1,000 fucking times. Lisa. Oh, Lisa. What a freaking crazy fucking little fucking, my freaking, and I haven't seen Lisa since fucking her dad fucking passed away. But that's not the point. The fucking stick with what, because I'm trying to put the goddamn facts in line. Hospital. This is not even there yet. We're not even to this part of the fucking story yet. I just fucking gushed through everything. So here's the fucking point, right? So around 2012, it would have been later into 2012, because 2012, right before 2012, I get my dog, which is, I freaking miss my dog. What am I gonna say? Mike loved my dog, okay? My dog was fucking awesome and wild and crazy and freaking, like, me and Mike would just watch as this freaking dog would pull the funniest fucking shit and we'd be like, I didn't fucking, he's like, I know, you just got to, this I don't know who the fuck owned this dog before me, but this dog does some funny ass shit, man. But very, very awkward, funny shit. So the point being is that freaking is that's the whole fucking point, is that fucking around about that fucking same time, Emilio Martinez starts a bullshit fucking thing. I call the fucking police. Mike tells me to call the police. He sees what the fuck's going on. He's like, Anthony, you have probation. If this guy keeps pulling the shit he pulls, you're going to end up being fucking in jail. Well, guess what? Right after I call the fucking cops, guess what happens? I go to fucking jail, right? Because fucking the cop doesn't do anything. And then after that, now this is after the fight with Jason Levy, okay? Or at least the fucking photos of what I think is Jason Levy, because that's the fucking guy. That's the fucking guy. It doesn't matter if his name is Jason Levy or not. That's the fucking guy. All right? Looks a lot like Mike Longboat. I brought this up to Mike a few different times because a few times I thought he was Mike. So I got the fucking, that's why I started staying away from the situation, because what I thought was Mike a few different times was actually him, Jason. And what I thought was fucking Jason a few times was actually Mike. So then this was very, very fucking, interestingly enough, confusing, and I just stayed the fuck away from it due to the fucking element of crack, and I don't smoke crack. So the point being is that freaking, the interesting part of all this is that around about this same time, like I said, Emilio Martinez fucking starts his shit. Mike sees it, comes over, call the cops, saying, I'll be right here. Let's make a fucking statement. I'll make the statement with you, because this is going to get you fucking thrown in jail. Well, guess what happens? I ended up getting fucking thrown in jail right after Mike left that night, right? Emilio, I go walk up to the store, I come back, and as I come back, his whole family, Emilio's whole little fucking clique that lives in his little fucking apartment, is right there. like a fucking gaggle of fucking hamsters. Oh, I'm sorry, is that racist? No. It looked like fucking hamsters that were crammed into a fucking fish tank. So, anyway, moving on, okay, is that fucking, he also has the cab driver. Interestingly enough, that used to live 3 fucking houses down from where I grew up. So interesting. So they're writing statements on me that I went into fucking Emilio's house, which is all bullshit, gets me thrown in jail overnight. They take my fucking blood, okay? Which is another interesting part, because now I'm saying to myself, you know, that's right after. That was right after. What, 2 months? 3 months? Not even 2-3 months, maybe. After that fight with fucking Jason Levy. Who looked like Mike Longboat. Who both of them looked like Paul Flores, right? Now, the blood, which is a federal crime to extract my blood for any fucking other fucking, this is the shit that's been fucked in my head. I'm gonna kill it. Yo, man. Wow. You have no idea. The point being, I'm wondering if that was why they were fucking, you know what? I want to give people the fucking credit of better, I want to give them the better side of the fucking credit. I can't do it. After seeing this shit, this is fucking nuts, man. This is fucking nuts, man. So then I'm saying to my fucking self, wow, this is really fucking interesting, because now I'm thinking about this, and I see the fucking truck in the Friday video from a few days ago. This is, what is this, September. Yeah. Fucking September, man. I'm fucking looking at the fucking video. I'm like, holy shit, that's the fucking truck. With everything else so inter-fucking woven, I'm saying to myself, wow, that's really fucking interesting, because Mike got a good deal on that truck. Now, I don't know if that's the same truck, but here's the interesting part. It sure the hell looks like the same make and model as Mike's old truck. And it looked like it had a lift kit in the photo, okay? The truck that Paul Flores was kind of standing near kind of looked like it had a lift kit. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Mike's truck had, from what I understand, Mike's truck had a broken lift kit. Okay? In other words, it wasn't so lifty anymore. Okay? Very interesting. And if Mike was around, I could fucking give him a fucking call, or actually, I probably wouldn't be able to give him a call, because I can't call anybody. And be like, hey, Mike, where'd you get that truck from, man? You know, just wondering. So now I'm driving around with Mike before he spray painted and after he spray painted. I'm pretty sure he spray painted the whole fucking truck. But before he did that, me and Mike were riding around in the truck, which I'm only guessing was a fucking photo op by whoever the fuck it was that might have been using it as a photo op to be like, hey, look, he's riding around with Paul Flores. No. That was Mike Longboat. Mike Longboat is now dead, and I am pissed. I liked Mike, actually. Not bad of a guy. He was fucked up in the head a little bit, but fucking sort of all right person. All right? Now, I find it interesting because right around about that same time period, I bumped into Paul and Ruben Flores on Long Island. I could only imagine that Paul and Ruben Flores were fucking selling that fucking truck, I'm guessing, to somebody. That's why they were there, right? In the rusted out fucking Jeepers Creepers fucking mobile that they were fucking driving. And they were bragging to my face, which I didn't even know who the fuck these two were. They were bragging about how they were going to kill me and put a body in the fucking place where I'd end up living, okay? Plus, on top of all that, they were bragging about how they got that fucking Jeepers Creepers mobile from one part of fucking the United States to another part of the fucking United States without nobody fucking seeing him. So I'm like, you know what? I don't even know these two people. In my head, I did not even I could barely remember my own fucking name around about that time period, let alone fucking, dude, there was so much shit that was going on, and that's why it's like so interesting to me that fucking all of a sudden Mike gets forced to leave. Am I leaving anything else out? Oh, there was the encounter that fucking right around that same time period, Gerald Schur fucking popped up into the situation again. I called him a creepy old man, and I fucking walked away from him because he started saying I'm on drugs, and I was on probation, so I didn't know who the fuck this guy was, but I didn't care. And personally, I took what he said to me as a fucking insult, so fuck him too. Wow, man. Wow. Wow, man. So now I'm saying to my fucking self, wow, that's really fucking interesting, because with that mental note now in place in my fucking head, trying to figure out whether it was or wasn't, and I'm saying that definitely is what looks like the same make and model of the fucking truck that Paul Flores is standing next to in the fucking picture that was posted in the video on Friday. Even though there's been nothing about fucking Paul Flores and Kristen Smart for the past week. And now this is the 20th. So I'm saying to myself, wow, look at all this shit. I'm like, wow. Fucking wow. So then it started making me think, well, you know, about the fucking Levy guy. And how interesting it is, not only does fucking Pazuzu's ex-girlfriend pop up underneath my fucking name in Google, but Jason Levy's picture pops up underneath my name in fucking Google. Wow. Wow. So I'm like, wow, man, and I can't do nothing about anything because I'm being shut down by the fucking sheriff's department, which is fucking completely, I'm just wondering at this fucking point, fucking, wow, man. Wow, man. So, anyway, let me just refocus. I went over this, I went over that, I went over this, I went over that. Fucking, and we are at the fucking point of Friday. When I notice all this, it starts making me wonder a few other things in my head. I start saying to myself, wow, that's so fucking interesting. Oh, look, that's the Assembly District. Hey, wait, that's part of Staten Island. Hey, didn't Frank Cali die on Staten Island? You know, in the fucking same spot I told him 20 fucking something years prior while shaking his fucking hand. Oh. And then to think all the other fucking supposed heads of mob families all of a sudden started to fucking die left and right, even before Frank Cali. Wow. And then there's the Assembly District. And I'm like, wow. So, within looking up Staten Island, one of the fun facts that popped out in one of the quick videos I observed was that Staten Island is one of the highest geological points. I don't even know, how is that even fucking possible, I'm saying to my fucking self. Like, why did I even see that fucking as a fact? Is that bullshit? I didn't even look into it, but that eventually, immediately, once I heard that, I said to myself, wait a minute. Geologically, it's one of the highest fucking points in New York. I said, holy shit. I said, fucking, wait a minute. Oh, shit. This makes sense, Billy. Ah, wow, man. So then I looked up fucking, then, immediately I said to myself, wow, wouldn't that be so, and then immediately the Twin Towers pops into my fucking head, and then I'm like, oh, shit, I remember all this. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So when they were about to launch the fucking highly fucking classified, supposed to be top secret fucking program, with basically, when it comes to the computers and this and that and blah, 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 now it all makes sense. I mean, it made sense before, but now it really started making sense. Because now I'm saying to my fucking self, wow, that's so fucking interesting, right? So first off, 2001 comes, and I end up going to fucking jail right before 9/11 with a police-issued Suffolk County Glock 9, which they've magically written up as a pair of nunchucks in my fucking, which either way, because I wasn't in trouble a whole fucking lot in my life. Wow, man, this is why I haven't fucking, because this is what I mean. It's all fucking, every single part of my life has been fucking bullshit. So first, what I did was noticing, I'm saying to myself, wow, that's so weird. Geographic, boom. When did the towers fall? 2001. So that means the highest fucking point at that point would have obviously been, and even if I have fucking thought of this before, I said to myself, fucking, this really starts to make a lot of fucking sense now, because the fucking geological high point at that point would be the Empire State Building. Now, if you consider that the Earth, okay, and I remember chatter back then about building being bigger than the other building and blah, 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 but very, very, suppressed overhearing of certain things. So, it's like, now, the Twin Towers were not higher than the Empire State Building. Ooh. So you would think that the people behind the Empire State Building might have had something to do with the Twin Towers. That's what you would think. Because now, for a certain amount of years, there'd be no competition. I don't know exactly what makes people not get fucking along on, the terms of, there was so many good plans for people in life. See, it's but you want to know something? It's and this is where I made the other video saying, well, they're heroes one way or they're heroes another, right? So I said to myself, wow, so the minute the towers fall, even though they weren't supposedly taller than the Empire State Building, at that point the Empire State Building becomes fucking the tallest point. So now, that building would be trying to fucking relay from point of access with the satellites. So satellites coming from the west, obviously, and fucking, therefore fucking, the first thing it's going to connect to is not the things that are down below it. It's going to first, because of line of sight or easy access point, it's going to first connect at a certain point in time with the Empire State Building. And now it looks like completely the people that own the Empire State Building whether they are good people or bad people or fucked up people, which more than likely they're all three. Now it is my IP address that is being, at that point, ran from the Empire State Building. So, my multi-layered fucking IP address. So, so then, you would think that that is the... So then you got to go a little bit further, which I could go really further than that. Due to, if you were to relay a certain closed-off system of satellites down to ground level, and then from there. So the point being is that in the end, at that point, they were the highest buildings. That was the highest building. So that was pretty much in competition with just about no one. And then you realize that they built the Twin Towers 300 feet higher than the Empire State Building. Now, why would the Twin Towers be a problem in the first place? Because the tilt on the Earth would put the Twin Towers at pretty much the same angle, the same geographical degree as the Empire State Building. So the satellite would have to be coming from the west. Because there would be no reason to bring down the fucking towers if fucking it was coming from the east. Due to the height of the towers, the Empire State Building was competing for the signal to rule all. Now, you can look at what possibly, more than likely, because it was. And heroes, right, that gave their lives on 9/11. You know, it's like it's almost embarrassing, because all they would have had to do was just simply calm the fuck down, and then that wouldn't have had to fucking happen. And who was behind that? Well, I said, who owned the towers? Port Authority owned the towers. Who owns fucking Port Authority? Pretty much the police department. Ta-da! Human foot bone. House shot at. Almost pulled into the fucking woods. Nothing. I call the police against the fucking Emilio Martinez. The fucking cops come and arrest me 6 hours after Mike Longboat fucking leaves my house. 3-4 fucking hours after Mike Longboat leaves my house. For bullshit. For something that did not happen. But 20 years prior, happened then. because Emilio Martinez, when I was a kid and I was sitting on the hood of my very, very expensive, nice-looking car, Emilio Martinez was like, oh yeah, I like Anthony. It tells my sister, who I cannot get on the phone, send Anthony down. Tell him to come right on in. Oh my God. But tell him to leave his gold chains at home. I was like, when the fuck do I leave my gold chains anywhere? I mean, there was a few girls that I said, yeah, you can have my chain. You can fucking wear my chain for a day. You can wear my chain. You know, that's the whole fucking point. It's like, I was like, wow, that's fucking strange, but okay. So I go down there, and I fucking knocked. Now, this is when I was fucking 16, 15, 16. That's why it's really fucking interesting. The whole fucking Tupac thing starts to come into play and all that shit. But what's even more important is now the two towers are competing. Okay, now the Twin Towers come first, okay? From the east. I mean from the west. From the west. I meant from the west. The whole time, the satellite's coming from the west. So, the bottom line is that fucking now the towers are down. The IP address is being ran around about fucking even a little. That's why the fucking thing with Emilio. Because that was 20 years or so, close to, from the time that Emilio, after Mike leaves my house, Mike Longboat leaves my house, Emilio calls the cops show up, arrest me, even though I just fucking called the cops because he wouldn't fucking leave me the fuck alone. And then the towers get rebuilt. Now, from the articles that I seen, the towers were rebuilt back up. I think the first tower might have went up around fucking 2006. That tower was 300 feet or so higher than the Empire State Building. All right, did construction start in 2000? You know what? Here's the interesting part. The construction supposedly, from what the articles I read and took fucking videos of and the screen fucking shots of, those towers weren't completed until like 2013,